Karibuni sana. My name is Blair Peterson, and I'm the secondary principal at the International School of Tanganyika. Today is the 20th day for the class of 2020, and this is the culminating rite of passage event. This segment is a prelude to today's class of 2020 graduation ceremony. We are so proud of our soon-to-be graduates, and this year's class is the first to graduate from IST in this virtual format. This year's class is similar to past IST graduating classes in that they come from all over the world. The 41 students hail from 15 different countries, and many have dual nationalities. With IST being a transient population, there is one member who joined this school year, and there are 6 who've spent their entire educational careers at IST. 21 of them entered at some point during their high school career. All of them have seen friends come and go throughout their tenure. Their diverse backgrounds have made the educational experiences and interactions so much richer. Like past IST graduating classes, this year's group has acquired acceptances to a wide variety of universities around the world, including top universities like New York University, Northwestern, University of California, Berkeley, the University of British Columbia, University of Amsterdam, Leiden University, and in the United Kingdom, University of Birmingham, University of Bristol, University of Manchester, University of College London, University of Edinburgh, University of York, and King's College. While there have likely been many eclectic classes that have passed through our campus, this eclectic group of students have bonded throughout the year, especially in these last few months. No class has ever endured anything like this global pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic created uncertainty prior to the cancellation of the IB diploma exams, and that uncertainty continues even now as they look to their short and long-term futures. Today's ceremony is an opportunity for the soon-to-be graduates, their parents, family, and friends to take a moment to celebrate the accomplishment and be together as a class, even if it's virtually one last time. Today's ceremony is divided into 2 segments. The entire ceremony, which is a combined pre-recording and live stream, which will all take place on this YouTube channel. The first portion is the pre-recorded one. During this recording, you will hear from the highlighted speakers in a somewhat traditional graduation format. After this recording, there'll be a brief intermission while seniors and parents transition into the live session where diplomas will be granted. Well, it's finally time to begin this year's class of 2020 graduation ceremony. We hope you enjoy IST's first ever virtual ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem.
Oh Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to parents, faculty and staff, members of the IST Board, the IST Alumni Association, family members and friends watching this ceremony from around the world, and our soon-to-be IST graduates. Thank you for joining us today to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2020. My name is Mark Hardiman, and I'm honored to be the director at the International School of Tanganyika. I would like to begin today by offering thanks to our parents, faculty, and staff members. Parents, we really appreciate your trust in IST, and it has been an honor working with these amazing students. Great schools rely on strong partnerships, and it has been a pleasure working collaboratively with our community to provide these students with opportunities to be challenged, supported, and inspired. I would also like to acknowledge the faculty and staff members at IST who have all contributed to the journey that these students have undertaken. Thank you for your commitment that you have made to the growth and development of each one of your students. This has truly been a team effort, and your perseverance, flexibility, and dedication has helped to provide our students with a phenomenal experience during their time at IST. And finally, our graduating class of 2020. Throughout your time at IST, you've impressed me in many different ways. You have traveled widely, spent your formative years in our community, and experienced many cultures throughout the world. You have won ICEA championships in Mozambique, debated political issues in The Hague, climbed to the peak of Kilimanjaro, shared your artistic talents with our community, worked with school children in rural Tanzania, started NGOs to support the less fortunate, and provided educational opportunities to others in our local community. Your view and perspective of the world is unique, and one that is truly needed to help us overcome the challenges that we all face as global citizens. As with millions of seniors around the world, we are all saddened by the opportunities we have lost to celebrate your successes and to bring closure to your high school years. It is impossible not to acknowledge how difficult these past few months have been, and I'm especially cognizant of how the pandemic has affected each of you, and so sorry that many of the experiences in your senior year have been impacted. That being said, I'm especially proud of all of you, and know that this period, although unfortunate, will help us all to appreciate the opportunities that we do have and the communities we are lucky to be part of. During these past months, I have been truly inspired by your resilience in the face of change, and by the collective efforts of our community to support and acknowledge your contributions to the life and history of IST. It is this resilience and effort that has led us to today's event, and a celebration of your hard work and effort, a culmination of your school experiences at IST. As a graduating class, you have honored IST, and I hope that you look back on your memories at our school with fondness, and that each of you felt challenged, supported, and inspired to reach your potential and to improve the world. I know that you are ready for your next adventures, and we all share your excitement as you look forward to the limitless opportunities that exist for each of you in the future. Following today's ceremony, each of you will officially become IST alumni. As alumni, you will carry with you our hopes that all of your dreams and aspirations will come true. As you already have for the past few years, you will continue to represent this school around the world as defining examples of the value of an IST educational experience. We all know that you will go on to accomplish great things, and as alumni, we are excited for you to stay connected and to support future generations of IST students. In closing, I trust that you will enjoy this afternoon's graduation ceremony. I want you to be proud of all that you have accomplished, because we are all very proud of each of you. Thank you, and congratulations.
Mrs. Sona Shah, Chairperson of the IST Board of Directors, Dr. Mark Hardman, School Director, Dr. Blair Peterson, Principal of Secondary School, Class of 2020, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. My name is Joyce Lazaro Ndalichako, Minister for Education, Science and Technology in the United Republic of Tanzania. I would like to start by thanking the Almighty God for granting us good health and therefore enabling us to convene for this virtual graduation. We have been compelled to use this medium, which I have to admit is rather unceremonious due to the outbreak of coronavirus disease, COVID-19, which is primarily transmitted between people through respiratory droplets and contact routes. For that case, the presence of COVID-19 discourages large gatherings and therefore we had to rely on technology to make your graduation ceremony proceed uninterrupted. Dear graduates, it is an honor for me to speak to you, the class of 2020. I am told that this year we have a total of 41 graduates in the International Baccalaureate IB Diploma Program, which will be the equivalence of from 6 graduates in the Tanzania Institute of Education curriculum. Of the 41 graduates, I am told 22 are male students and 19 female students, and that this class of 2020 comprises 13 Tanzanian students. Congratulations to you, the graduating class of 2020. It's unfortunate that your hard work cannot be celebrated in person. It's unfortunate that I cannot see your smiles and celebrate with you. But the most important thing is that you have made it, and therefore you have every reason to be proud and celebrate. Dear graduates, wherever you are following my speech from, I would like to congratulate you for successfully reaching this precious moment. My sincere gratitude is also extended to your parents for the sacrifices they have made to finance your education. I commend the school administration, teachers, and the entire IST community for their academic support and parenthood. Congratulations to you all. I want to specifically thank Dr. Mark Hardman, the Director of International School of Tanganyika, for inviting me to speak with the graduates. My message to the graduates. Dear graduates, the International School of Tanganyika, IST, has a long history, starting from our founding father era in 1963, immediately after our country's independence. IST has produced so many talents across the globe, including Tanzania. Some of the notable figures who are IST alumni include Usman Ali, a Pakistani-American actor, Shaw Mardios, a South African rapper and poet, Yusuf Bakaresa, a Tanzanian and managing director of Azam Media, Magdalena Mosha, a Tanzanian and Olympic swimmer, Miranda Neymani, a Tanzanian and CEO of Empower. Congratulations on being part of that history. Dear graduates, today I choose to speak to you as a mother, the same way a mother speaks to her children. I'm going to share some important life lessons that my parents imparted on me, and I've instilled the same lessons to my children. Dear graduates, I urge you to uphold dearly the value of gratitude. Looking at you today, in as much as it is about you and celebrating you, for the hard work that got you to this proud moment. Don't forget that today is about gratitude to all those who helped you to get here, those who nurtured you, taught you, cheered you, and wiped your tears. Today marks the end of one era and a beginning of something new. Be grateful to God, who has given you life. Be grateful to your parents because their sacrifices made you who you are, but most importantly, got you to this prestigious school. Be grateful to the teachers who shared their knowledge and dedicated their lives towards imparting knowledge to you. I have always believed that if you are grateful for what you have, you will always have more. I have to remind you that you owe much to your parents, teachers, and your nations at large. We all look forward to seeing that the education you have received forms a strong foundation for your future education and overall participation in the social, political, economic, and cultural arenas in your nations. In doing so, you will be showing gratitude to all those who made you who you are. Dear graduates, I urge you to maintain a quest for learning, hardworking spirit, and assume a more responsive role towards development efforts in your nations. Several education pathways are ahead of you. They include tertiary levels of technical education and training, commercial studies, and higher education offered within and outside Tanzania. For the Tanzanian graduates, bear in mind that the fifth phase government, under the leadership of His Excellency Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, is committed to ensure that you receive relevant education needed for one to function optimally in the 21st century. There is no doubt you will contribute in making Tanzania become a middle-income country by the year 2025. For the international students likewise, much is expected from you by your nations, and therefore strive to make positive contribution whenever you are called upon. Dear graduates, uphold the values of honesty and integrity. As you progress in life, know that people, whether at the place of work or in your personal relationship, will demand these values. While they are demanded, you have to remember that they are also earned. You have to work for them. You have to prove them. Repeatedly, expect them to be questioned. Do not compromise them. They will make you who you are. Your actions should speak for themselves. Do not give way to the pressure for otherwise. Dear graduates, you must follow your dreams. Believe in yourself as much as you believe in your dream. It is planted on you for a reason. You are worth of your dream. You want to get to the moon? Put some work to get to the moon. Many of you here today are getting their diploma at this school because of their commitment and hard working. And there is no greater clinching and address than follow your dream. In the process you will fail. It's okay to fail. It is important to know that if you never try to reach your dreams because you are afraid of failure, then you will never know for sure if you could make them come true. Be okay with failing and making mistakes. It is part of the process. This has been very true for myself, because one thing that has remained true throughout each of these so-called failures is that I'm here today because of them. Each one has led to a shift in my perspective and a different direction and a different path. Be different. Enjoy being different. Keep going. Allow your dream to change just like we do. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, I quote, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." End of quote. Dear graduates, you have to be good listeners. Listen to yourself. Listen to others. Listen to learn and understand. Listen to understand what is not spoken. Do not judge people before listening to them, for even those who seem ignorant may have some useful information. Max Ehrmann, in his Desiderate Poetry, said, I quote, "Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their stories." End of quote. Dear graduates, life is an adventure. Live it. This is from Helen Keller. Life is there for you, unfolding only as narrow as you can see, or as broad as an ocean, where everything is available as you sail constantly to new and different horizons. Always remember that happiness is not something that you'll find outside of you. It is already within you. You make the choice every day. Reflect on your blessings. Reflect on the blessings you have. Set goals to keep you focused on the direction you want your life to go. But most importantly, enjoy and be happy with each day as it comes. Go out, live. Be kind, be gentle, be creative, be innovative, give and be given. Be good citizens of the world. The sky is not the limit. This is what I wish for you. Go out and live, and go make a difference. Therefore, much as you are still young and energetic, with so much at your disposal, Please continue to pursue education with all your might. In the process, honoring the investments and sacrifices your parents have made to ensure that you become well educated for a bright future. Dear graduates, as I end my speech, allow me to once again commend IST IB Diploma Class of 2020 for the successful completion of studies. I just want to remind you that the tough road to successful life does not end here. Your journey has just begun. I know that you are well equipped with the skills, knowledge, and experience which have made you confident and competent enough for further education and participation in the world of work. Therefore, keep going and continue to pursue further education so that you may be the future of your nations by using your education to address critical issues and problems facing the world. Dear graduates, today I am honored to speak to you, although from behind my desk. Life awaits you. Thank you and congratulations.
I would now like to invite Ms. Plakemeyer to introduce our next speaker.
Hi, everyone. It's my great honor to introduce the next speaker, Tim Mummert. I know that Tim was chosen by the class to speak on their behalf, and I'm so happy about that, because when I look at Tim, I see a young man who reflects many of the traits that are present in this graduating class, and he's a wonderful example of an IST student. To give some context, Tim was a member of my psychology class, and my TOK class, and my homeroom, and I worked with him on his CAS project and in some extracurricular activities. So basically, Tim could never escape me. So Tim, thanks for still liking me, and don't worry, you're almost free. What all this shared time meant is that I got to see many sides of Tim. In psychology and in TOK, I saw the dedicated student, someone with a tremendous work ethic who was willing to inquire and debate and contribute his ideas. Someone who always looked for ways to improve and who could take feedback with confidence and humor. If he made a mistake, which wasn't often, Tim would laugh and say, I knew I messed that part up. And then he'd make a plan for how to do it differently the next time. In homeroom, where things were a little more relaxed, I saw Tim, the friend, someone quick to share a laugh, tell a story, or take the time to ask how other people were doing. Things that are so valuable and really easy to skip over, especially at 7:40 in the morning. And I have seen, and if you're lucky, you have seen, Tim the performer. For those of you who don't know, Tim is an amazing magician. His tricks are mind-boggling. As a performer, he's wowed many audiences. But behind the show, I see time and commitment, hours invested into perfecting a passion, and then courage to share that with other people. Tim's also a musician, a Duke of Edinburgh award winner, a competitive sailor. I could go on about all Tim's activities. Trust me, I was his CAS advisor. I know. But in all of these activities, it always seemed Tim did these things because he wanted to, because he enjoyed them. And I must admit, I'm envious of his seemingly endless energy and his willingness to embrace opportunities when they come his way. I hope it's clear how much I admire and respect this young man. I think everyone can find something to appreciate. I hope you take from Tim the example to be open to experiences, to balance work and play, to invest time pursuing excellence while leaving space to care for others, and especially to always be true to yourself. These are the things Tim has taught me. So Tim, thanks for sharing who you are with me and with the rest of us at IST. We're all better for it. And now I'll leave it to you to share your thoughts with everyone here. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Mummert.
Dear parents, teachers, students, family members, and especially my class of 2020. We made it. Well, kinda. Somehow. And definitely not the way we've planned it. But we made it. And now, the only thing that is left to do is to celebrate and to wait for our results. For sure, the last part is a scary one, as especially with no exams being taken, it's kinda hard to estimate which grades we will get. But let's not talk about that. Let's focus on the first, and for me, the much better sounding part, the celebration. I think if there's one fact about graduates that's always and globally true, is that they're always up for a party and to just have a great time with their friends and family. In fact, this reminds me of a lyric of a song called Hell Right. It says there,
You ain't done nothing if you did it halfway. If you're gonna raise hell, then you better damn raise hell right. Hell right, hell right.
that our class of 2020 did this many times. Whether it was all together in Miss Chloe's classroom, throwing her balls around, sorry for that, or on parties, or in smaller groups, just hanging out with each other and having a great time. And a celebration is what we're going to have today and tonight. We're just getting started. Additionally, there's so many great things, so many awesome moments we can celebrate today, even though it unfortunately won't be all together. I remember our grade really starting up during the short weekend we all spent in the Kuduchi Hotel close to Dar es Salaam. It may have been a bit TOK and CAS heavy, but it was a beginning. And from there, we kept on growing together. The next step was our last ESP in grade 11. There may have been some sickness problems in the bio one, and I can really tell you they were no fun. You can trust me with that. I got some personal experiences in that matter, as many of you know. But again, it brought us closer. Afterwards, the school started kicking in. Extended essay, TOK, CAS, IS, and. While the time with our friends and all the celebrations we had was always hell right, these things were quite challenging and sometimes really hell to go through. But slowly, ever so slightly, we started ticking these things off. The last and final step would have been our graduation trip to Zanzibar, which unfortunately couldn't take place. However, there have been so many other social activities apart from these school-related ones. Nights at Yacht Club, at the cinema, eating burgers after a good or a bad movie at Burger 53, meeting at Sleepway, and just so much more. And each single event has brought us closer together, but also closer to where we are right now, closer to the end of this section of our life. Now, this section of our life is done. It's over. We will move on to the next thing if we already have figured out what it will be. Our life changes, and I think we can all say that this particular change we are experiencing right now is quite big. Perhaps even the biggest change in our life. We will have to stand on our own 2 feet. We will have to be responsible about ourselves. But, personally, I don't think that's scary. I think that's cool. I think that's awesome. These past 2 years, these absolute amazing times we had together, they have shaped us to who we are right now and enable us to have an even greater blast to be able to party and live hell right in the future. And I don't believe it will be a complete cut. I think if our grade was able to keep contact like we did over the past 2 months, whether it will be Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, or through the virtual Minecraft world we have created, then those friends and memories we have created all together will stay with us for a very, very long time. I want to give a thank you to the amazing teachers, but also to our parents, who both, parents and teachers, have supported us throughout our time in VIB, giving us physical, mental, but also, most importantly, delicious, digestible support. But my biggest thanks, gratitude and love goes to my class of 2020. It was an absolute blast. We raised hell and we raised it damn right. I have the time of my life with you, these amazing people, and I'm looking forward to meet you all again at some point in the future. And now, let's celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. That was a wonderful speech. Now, on the behalf of Class of 2020, I would like to introduce to you our great team leader and the teacher speaker, Miss Kobe.
Make sure I get this right. Why are math textbooks always so sad? Because they have so many problems. I love it.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening.
To parents, teachers, and fellow schoolmates.
In whatever corner of the world you are in.
Today we sit behind our screens
to introduce you all to the human
that has put up with 41 of us.
The human that doesn't complain.
When we hijack her room.
On rainy days and break times.
When we gatecrash her classes and meetings.
For mugs of coffee.
And when we ran to her.
About all the problems in the world.
She is the one teacher
you can trust with all your team.
And for always making you smile.
Despite being here for only 2 years,
she holds a very special place
in all of our hearts. From making trivia quizzes,
face-themed bingo games,
tie-dyeing afternoons,
and karaoke battles.
And she's got all the magic in the world.
She spends hours learning Swahili. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And will look at you straight in the eye.
At the sight of plastic.
Whether it be math lab afternoons
or early morning yoga sessions,
she's always got our back.
We're thankful for the lady,
without whom it would be next to impossible.
For us to graduate.
We will forever cherish
the beautiful equations of life.
Let's all hold up our glasses
and raise a toast.
Presenting to you, Miss Jacoba Virginia Ode.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to our wonderful and eager parents, to teachers wishing they were here in person, to friends and family of the graduates all over the world tuning in from their couches, and of course to my dear seniors, the 41 students of IST's graduating class of 2020. Thank you all for being here and being part of this special day in any way that you can be. I'd like to take a minute to also thank anyone who got involved in these last 20 days of graduation celebrations. A big thank you to those of you who tuned in each day to YouTube to check out the daily content, to anyone who wrote a letter or drafted a script, and to those who took the time to get dressed, brush your teeth, and straighten your hair so that you could record a video to be publicly shared. And one more enormous thank you to our tech guys, Gervis and Ismail, for putting it all together and making this evening's ceremony happen. I'm honored to be speaking on behalf of the class of 2020 as their grade team leader and ringleader. I must admit, though, I have been procrastinating writing this speech for far longer than I'm willing to admit. This had become the last task on the graduation to-do list that I just couldn't bring myself to do. Seniors, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That last IA that just hangs over your head and you can't bring yourself to start it. But the weird part was I just couldn't figure out why it felt so daunting. We all know it's very easy for me to talk about you guys and say nice things. So this should be easy, right? Well, then it hit me. The reason this speech felt so hard is because what it meant. It means that I'd finally have to say goodbye. And I just wasn't ready for that. Not now and not like this. How am I supposed to say goodbye to 41 of the most amazing humans I've met in this life in a 10-minute speech pre-recorded for you to watch on YouTube? So instead of preparing my virtual graduation goodbye letter, aka this speech, I spent a lot of time over the last couple weeks picturing what all of this would have looked like if we got to do things the normal way. I pictured the last day of school, when we would have all gone out for a big breakfast together, the seniors and the grade 12 teachers. And we would have had to go through a whole process of discussing, nominating, and voting for who had the best coffee and dar. And that's where we would have been for our last cup of joe together. I pictured all of the laughs in the courtyard, the high energy in the classrooms, and the endless smiles that would have come with the final day of classes as a high school student. There would have been so many pictures, lots of hugs, and of course a few tears, but we would have got to have and to feel all of those things that we were meant to, that come with such an important ending. During the exam period, I pictured what it would have been like to see you after you wrote your first DP exams. You all worked so hard this year in preparation of these exams. I've seen firsthand the stress, exhaustion, and meltdowns that come with making it through such a rigorous program. I even saw a dramatic fainting episode once on a test day. But now all that pressure and fear would be slowly peeling itself off of your shoulders one exam at a time. I envisioned you guys coming into my room to debrief how it went and then quickly turning around to get ready for the next one. I'm sure at these times I'd be supplying way more coffee than usual, and you guys would have been exploding your study materials all over my classroom, probably not leaving any room for the IB1s to have math class. And then when it was all over and you took that grad walk around campus, you'd have your moment to really feel like an academic rock star, knowing that you had done it, you had made it through. And everyone would be looking at you in astonishment and admiration. We would all be so proud. Then I pictured what graduation rehearsal would have looked like at the elementary MPH. You guys all gowned up, filled with nervous excitement for what the next couple of days had in store. And I'm sure that there would have been points when you'd be talking and laughing and not listening to me at all, at which point I would have had to say, "Hey, listen to me," and give you the big eyes and the scary, serious face. Yeah, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. And at rehearsal, you would have seen how to turn your tassel from right to left, practice standing and sitting at the right times, and learn how to sit without showing too much to the audience. And finally, when it was all over, I'd give you one last pep talk about tomorrow being a big, important day and making sure that you had fun at prom, but not too much fun. Then graduation morning would come. Well, actually, it would have been graduation afternoon because collectively we decided 2 p.m. was a better time to start than 11 a.m. You'd show up, we'd be all together waiting for the start time, anxious and excited. There would have been photos and nervous laughter, and you'd see this fun jacket I had made, especially for the occasion. Someone would be late, and I probably would have started without him. You'd walk into the music being played by the school band, and your parents would already start tearing up. There'd be speeches that made us laugh together, and there'd be speeches that made us cry together. Mr. Crook and I would do our best with your names, and you would have your moment to proudly, elegantly, and triumphantly walk across the stage, receive your diploma, and have your picture taken with a huge, genuine smile on your face. And the one thing that is so vivid for me when I picture these incredible moments is how good it would have felt for all of us to be there together, going through these motions that every graduating student goes through at this time in their lives. I would be reminded and impressed by the amount of hard work you had to put in over the last 2 years in order to be here. and I'd feel so proud of you all for making it despite all of the obstacles and hiccups. I would do my very best not to become a blubbering mess as I called out your name and read your commentary while you walked across that stage. And I would never in my life have felt such a sense of family, responsibility, and complete love for a group of people so near and dear to my heart. And finally, I pictured what would happen when the ceremony was over. It would have been time to celebrate. We'd head to the graduation dinner where your teachers, your parents, and you would all come together to dance, tell stories, laugh, and have one last moment of togetherness in memory and in celebration of all the good times that were had at IST as the class of 2020. This would have been the time we could let all the stress and worries go. There was no more work or planning or thinking to be done. It would be a time to say our goodbyes, to celebrate our time together, and to give so many thanks for all of the special relationships that were made along the way. And in picturing all of those moments over the last couple of weeks, moments from the graduation ceremony and the grad dinner, the heartfelt in-person goodbyes that we would have had, I realized that it doesn't matter if I'm saying goodbye in person like that or through this speech, it's going to be hard, too hard. In fact, I don't think I'll ever be ready to say goodbye to you guys. So with that realization, I decided to change my thinking. This speech, this message to you, the class of 2020, doesn't have to be a goodbye at all, but rather a promise to see you all again someday, somewhere, sometime soon. You guys are a family who get each other, love each other, and take care of one another, and I feel so lucky to have been a part of that family. And the thing about families is that you don't say goodbye. You just go away for a little while and you promise to come back sometime soon. Every single one of you has a very special place in my heart. I didn't even know there was enough room in here for so many people until coming to IST and meeting this group of hilarious and awkward 11th graders in math class. You guys were my first ever IB-DP students. You were terrifying and so talented, wicked smart, funny, thoughtful, and just as new as I was to the whole DP thing. We have come a long way together since then. In year 2, we got a little more comfortable and confident with the job at hand. I became your grade team leader, which was another new and terrifying leap for me. But it was the best decision I could have made because really getting to know each one of you as individuals has been the highlight of every one of my days over the last year. I'm so proud of all of you for your hard work, your commitment, resilience, and understanding of the situation that was put before you. I'm impressed with how well you have taken care of yourselves and taken care of each other throughout this strange and difficult time. You truly have demonstrated what it means to be an IB student through your endless positivity, patience, and selflessness. You accepted the situation for what it was. You were brave, flexible, and understanding. To close, I'll call on my favorite quote by Bill Nye the Science Guy. He says, "Everyone you will ever meet knows something that you don't." This is something that you guys offered me each and every day, even though you may not realize it. You have taught me so much about life, about teaching, about being strong, and about building relationships. And I hope this idea is one that you will take with you as you make your way out into the big world. Every single person you come across has something to offer, something to teach you. Be humble, ask questions, and look for what it is that you may not see upon first impressions. Be kind, be gentle with yourself and with others, and never forget that despite the craziness and the uncertainty of this time, your strength within your family, your IST community, and within yourself never wavered. You can do this. Everything will work out exactly as it should. See each moment, each uncomfortable interaction or situation as a lesson to be learned, and enjoy all of the scary, exciting new steps that will come along the way. You have exactly what you need to go out into this world and make it your own. And I know all of you will make all of us very proud. Congratulations once again, and I'll see you all very soon.
Thank you, Miss Kobe, for your heartfelt words. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our biology teacher, Miss Samaras.
Such an honor to be given the opportunity to share my thoughts on this wonderful day of celebration. I feel truly blessed to have witnessed how each and every one of our seniors has grown over the last 2 years, together with all the amazing things that you have achieved. But I think I'll leave the specifics of your amazing journey to two marvelous gentlemen. Took maybe 1 or 2 meetings for me to realize that I had some very interesting characters in my biology class, and these two were no exception. My earliest impressions of them was that they were knowledgeable and confident enough to show it. They were also quick-witted and seemed to have an answer for everything, including convincing reasons as to why they hadn't done their homework. Something along the lines of, "I was doing it, miss, but then I started reading about this other really interesting biological thing and I got sidetracked. Sorry, miss, it won't happen again," all delivered with a cheeky smile and a glint in the eye. What can you say to such charm? To be honest, I was never really concerned. I knew these two had a wonderful ability to understand scientific concepts, and more importantly, they were self-motivated, hard-working, and have an ability to be successful in whatever they choose. But it wasn't just their quick minds and ability to be successful that makes these two special. For one thing, they're both polite and caring. I cannot think of an instance when I passed either of them during break when they didn't greet me and ask me how I was. They also have an amazing ability to capture a crowd, like a famous double act. Whether it's during Assembly, Ignite or Swahili Week, they can really get the crowd going and change the whole dynamic of the room. They can also sing and dance, and one of them can even do backflips, although I don't think my classroom is the best location for this. Mostly when I think of them both, I recall so many good memories. They brought such warmth and humour to the class, and they also sparked lots of interesting conversations. There's so many positive things that I could say about these two amazing people. I could go on, but maybe I should let you all experience them for yourselves. Before I do that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank them both for their warmth, kindness, humour, knowledge and talents, and I wish them both the very best of luck in their future endeavours. May they continue to be amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I hand the proceedings over to Mark and Moses.
Now, I would like to introduce to you an IST alumni who's been part of the community for a very, very long time, Miss Shamima Balu.
Honorable guests from around the world, distinguished faculty and board members, proud parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, siblings, incandescent graduates and friends, a very warm welcome. Hope you're all staying safe and enjoying the first of its kind virtual graduation for the IST class of 2020. We're so honored that you're part of this important milestone in IST's history. My name is Shamima Balu, and on behalf of the IST alumni community, it is my privilege to address these fine graduates of the class of 2020. Not many are given the opportunity and privilege of studying at the International School of Tanganyika. Being an IST alum is one of my most honored titles. Each one of you is balanced, full of culture, principled, open-minded. Each one of you is a risk taker, and each one of you possess an exemplary education. Such an incredible institution as IST makes a tremendous impact on everything it touches, on the minds, the characters, the dreams of its students. The word alumni is defined as a group of graduates or former students of a specific school, college, or university. As you, the graduates, turn your tassels, diplomas at hand, you are officially IST alumni. Alumni and their achievements are IST's wealth of resources and an inspiration to future graduates of IST. Most alumni remember their experiences, and others make friendships that last a lifetime. Some of you are excited to part their ways, start afresh, yet some of you during these unprecedented times don't have a clue. But remember, fellow alumni-to-be, there will inevitably be bad times amongst amazing good times throughout our lives. However, all these will pass. So, cherish the good memories, make the most of them, and looking back to those bad times, you will have learned a lesson or two, so it'll all be worth it. Be it through friends or foe, networking or treasured memories, even when the new norm kicks in, our roots will always take us back to the International School of Tanganyika. Once a Twiga, always a Twiga. Congratulations, class of 2020, and a very warm welcome on board the IST alumni. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to present to you some beautiful masterpieces by the IB Art students while we prepare for the conferring of our diplomas.
Hi, everybody. We're just going to do a test and make sure that we're getting volume on YouTube. I think we might be all set now. Yeah? Okay. That we're getting volume on YouTube through the live stream. We're good? Yeah? So Rye, we're gonna get a lot of Rye today. I'm so glad. We're gonna do yours one more time now that we've got volume, okay? Just take the cap off, pretend you don't already have your diploma. Here we go.
Rye Admasu. Rye has found her high school years most memorable, and she is grateful to be part of the class of 2020. Her favorite memories are hanging out with her friends as well as taking part in school trips like ESP. She also finds everyday things like short breaks and fun activities during homeroom. In 5 years' time, Rye hopes to become a successful interior and spatial designer. Her first step is to enroll in a foundation year in art and design at the University of the Arts London or Ontario College of Art and Design. She would like to give special thanks to her friends and teachers who have supported her through her high school years, as well as the whole grade 12 for a wonderful experience at IST. She is forever grateful for her family for giving her great opportunities and supporting her choices.
Shaima El-Shatri. Shaima has enjoyed her time at IST, connecting with different people from different backgrounds, and to have found herself more and more each year. She remembers the giggles, dance parties in the courtyard during lunch breaks, and the special greetings with the staff members. In 5 years, she hopes to have traveled the world and to have settled into her life with something she's passionate about. She would like to give special thank you to the few teachers that never gave up on her and to her friends for always guiding her and being supportive throughout the years.
Atika Alidina. Atika has enjoyed getting to know all of her classmates who have come and gone over the years. She will fondly remember the many hours spent at art club drawing endlessly. In 5 years, she hopes to finish her chemical engineering degree, turn her house into a personal library, and have a cat. She would like to give a special thank you to her family, especially her sister-in-law, for making good food.
Alexander Almakayev. Alex has fond memories of his senior year at IST, both in and out of school, and is very happy with the way it went and the people he got to spend it with, excluding the whole coronavirus thing. His favorite memories are often those involving everyone stressing out over things like mocks, EEs, and IAs, because he feels it brought everyone together and made for an ironically fun time. In 5 years, he hopes to have a bachelor's in mechanical engineering, be studying for a master's, and just doing whatever makes him happy, hopefully reuniting at some point with the class of 2020. He'd like to thank everyone, his family, friends, and teachers who have supported him through this year and have been with him through it all. The people he has spent this year with have changed his life.
Neha Ankolaker. Neha has looked forward to graduating ever since she could remember, especially since she now gets to share this special moment with the amazing class of 2020. She remembers interesting discussions during psychology, car rides with her best friends, and being as involved as she could with the school community. In 5 years, she hopes to have completed her bachelor's in psychology and to have started her master's. She would like to give a special thank you to everyone who supported her and the class of 2020, parents, teachers, and friends who made these 2 years so memorable, and would also like to congratulate the class of 2020 on all of their achievements.
Saeed Jamal Bakresa. Saeed has loved spending every single moment of the past 15 years growing mentally and physically within the IST community. He remembers going home after each long day at school and resting in order to be prepared to face any coming challenges the following day. In 5 years, Saeed hopes to have completed his bachelor's degree course in business administration and management, and also hopes to have contributed to his family business and, inshallah, extended it to greater lengths. He would like to take this opportunity to thank all of his family, teachers, peers, as well as staff members at IST who have supported him throughout his high school experience.
Nicholas Connors. Nicholas Nicholas has had an amazing senior year at IST, balancing his 2 ICEA sports with jazz band and schoolwork. And while being a challenge, he thinks it was well worth it. One of his favorite memories was winning ICEA volleyball in 2018, but he also closely cherishes every moment spent with friends, teammates, and coaches. In 5 years, he hopes to have graduated from Springfield College's Exercise Science Department and perhaps be moving on to a higher level of education in the field, while also finding as much time as possible to play sports. Nicholas would like to thank his teachers, coaches, and friends for helping him develop into the person he is today, with special thanks to Miss Evie and Miss Kendra, whose training acted as a catalyst for Nicholas's love of sports and hard work.
Muskan Dowd. Having studied at IST for 15 years, Muskan has looked forward to graduating with all of her peers. She will really miss spending free periods goofing around with her friends and impromptu coffee dates with her girls. In 5 years, she hopes to have completed her bachelor's in business administration. She would like to thank all her friends for sticking through her ups and downs, and her family and teachers for supporting her at all times. Lastly, she would like to thank the class of 2020 for making the past 2 years incredible.
Shoaib Danani. Shoaib is extremely proud of completing his IB coursework and feels he has reached a milestone, having gone through this physically
Shubu.
Okay. Shoaib Danani. Shoaib is extremely proud of completing his IB coursework and feels he has reached a milestone, having gone through this physically and mentally demanding year. He will miss participation in ICEA sports, all of his close friends, and the teachers and staff who together made his year incredible. In 5 years, he hopes to have completed his business administration university course and to start getting work experiences before he develops his own business. He would like to thank Allah, his family, school teachers and staff, members of the graduating class, and close friends for making this year memorable and special.
Danny Fan. From the past 12 years of being a student at IST, Danny has enjoyed learning from supportive teachers and spending time with her lovely friends. Her favorite moments of IST were helping out ICEA events and spending lunch times in the courtyard gossiping with her friends. In 5 years, she hopes to have gone on many amazing trips with her family and friends and possibly reunite with the class of 2020. She would like to say a special thank you to all her teachers for being so amazing and supportive throughout this journey of completing high school, and also to her parents for being accepting about everything.
Akanksha Rani Gupta. Akanksha enjoyed every aspect of IB, especially because of her friends and classmates. She loved talking to everyone. She will cherish every moment she has had these past 2 years, talking to her friends at lunchtime, all the funny moments, and the weird arguments like if the egg white or the egg yolk is better. In 5 years, she hopes she will be in the final stage of graduating from medical school and finally become a doctor, which she has dreamt about ever since she was a child. She wants to shout out to the entire Curry crew, her teachers who supported her all the time, and her parents who encouraged her.
Moses Hamoud. He began his journey with his wonderful class of 2018. Many may know him for having a goofy but also social and outgoing personality. Moses warmly misses and remembers the ESP experience, the fun and bonding exercises in extended homeroom, and all the banter and memories in the IB lounge and music room. In 5 years, he hopes to be commencing his medical training in becoming a cardiologist, but also he is hoping to enhance his skill and love for the arts, for instance, dance and music. Lastly, he would like to offer his deepest thanks and gratitude to all his teachers for the encouragement and support. He would also like to thank all his peers for bearing with his jokes, humor, and for all the togetherness they built. These 2 years were definitely his best schooling years that he's had so far.
Shivani Kakad. Shivani is grateful for every bit of laughter she's experienced from this class and is excited to be taking away a bag of memories as she embarks on a new journey. She will really miss all the nurse visits, gate crashing meetings, and finally being allowed to use the printer. In 5 long years from now, she aims to have completed her neuroscience and psychology program and hopes to have learned a little more about herself and about this world. She would like to give a shout out to her closest friends, teachers, and entire family for believing in her. A special thank you to her mom, who always pushed her to do her best. She wouldn't have had it any other way. To everybody that she has crossed paths with these few years, she simply wants to say thank you. Thank you for being part of her story.
Melchizedek Kimario. Meki has enjoyed spending the last 18 months creating lifelong bonds with people throughout the grade. Graduating from IST, he will treasure the rowdy lunchtimes he and his friends shared in the Ivy Lounge. 5 years from now, Meki hopes to have a Bachelor of Science in Neuroscience and entering his first year of graduate school. As he leaves IST with fond memories, Meki would like to give a special thanks to his parents, siblings, and close friends who were there to support and comfort him over the course of the rigorous IB curriculum.
Ria Lalji. Ria is excited to learn more about what the world will bring. Ria's favorite IST memory has to be all the teachers that she has had who have been incredibly understanding and supportive. In 5 years, Ria hopes to finally live unapologetically. Ria would like to put all her differences aside and wish the class of 2020 the best of luck. She would also like to give a special shout out to Natasha for being there through all the good and bad times.
Nicole May Lavilla. Nicole has loved her time with her friends and family and teachers in IST and is proud to be one of the graduates of the class of 2020. She will always treasure the weirdest conversations, laughs, fun extended homerooms, and memories made throughout the years with friends and teachers. In 5 years, she hopes to have completed her bachelor's degree in architecture and design and reunite with the class of 2020. She would like to give a special thanks to her caring and encouraging family, amazing and loving friends, and all the grade 12 teachers for their endless support to make sure we are all headed on the right path. She wishes the class of 2020 luck and love through the next chapters of their lives and to always stay in touch.
Chanda Luanza. Chanda has enjoyed every second of her short 2 years at IST, mostly because of the different opportunities at her disposal that enabled her to break out of her shell and grow as an individual. She will always remember the different activities in grade 12 extended homeroom with her classmates and homeroom teachers. In 5 years, she hopes to have achieved her degree in animation visual communications and to have traveled to different countries. She would like to give a special thank you to her counselors and teachers for their consistent support and help.
Samuel Malebo. Samuel has loved every moment of his senior year in the class of 2020 and is excited to finally graduate from high school. His favorite memory at IST was on Picture Day back in October 2019 because that was the first and last time that his senior classmates were together wearing graduation gowns and got to throw their caps up in the air. In 5 years, he hopes to have completed his undergraduate degree in international relations, majoring in politics and history, which he will complete in Germany. He would like to thank his fellow grade 12 classmates and his teachers for being helpful and encouraging to him throughout this tough and victorious senior year.
Kritika Manik. Kritika has eagerly waited to graduate as a part of the class of 2020 after being at IST for 13 years. She remembers all the intriguing class discussions and sharing endless laughs with her girls. In 5 years, she hopes to complete her undergraduate degree in psychology and business and further would like to start her master's. She would like to give a special thank you to her family, her friends, and her teachers for being her support throughout this ride. She would also like to congratulate the class of 2020 for making it to the end and wish them well for their journey after.
Shuaib Mohammed. Shuaib has been cherishing every moment of the past 2 years. With so many memorable events and people, it will be difficult to experience anything similar. He remembers the hilarious moments during break time and class with his friends. In 5 years, he hopes to have completed his undergraduate course and get started with his postgraduate courses. He would like to give a special thank you to all his teachers and friends for the support and laughs, making the IB an enjoyable time.
Lucia Elena Christensen Montenegro. Lucia is very sad to leave IST, especially under these circumstances, but very excited to see what the future will bring. Her favorite memory from IST is all the conversations and laughs she has had with her friends during short break or lunch. It's also one of the things she will miss the most. In 5 years, she hopes to be working on her master's degree and having just as much fun as she had during her time at IST. Lucia would also like to thank all of her teachers for their dedication because she would not be where she is without them. She also thanks her parents and her sister for their support and love. Lastly, she would like to wish everyone in her grade the best of luck in the future.
Tim Merck. The past 2 years have given Tim the possibility to have some truly great experiences. His favorite memories were the Duke of Edinburgh Gold trips, his last ICEA band and choir trip, and all of the time spent together with the Sofa Gang. For the next 5 years and what's coming after, Tim hopes to study or work on something together with other great people that's enjoyable and has many future possibilities. And finally, he's looking forward to the moment he finally meets his friends again. Tim would like to make a shout out to the Sofa Gang, the class of 2020, and the ICEA band and choir team for making his time at IST so memorable. He would also like to give a thank you to all of his teachers who helped him survive and thrive during his time at IST.
Vanessa Matai. Despite being here only 3 years, Vanessa has made lifelong connections and is excited to see what the future holds for the class of 2020. She will miss the very productive math lab sessions she had with Akanksha, Imogen, Oliver, Luke, and some of the other seniors who would drop in from time to time. In 5 years, she hopes to have a Bachelor of Science in either human and computer interaction or psychology and neuroscience. She would like to say thank you to her teachers, friends, family, and anyone who has supported and encouraged her throughout this past year.
Aryan Nagpal. Aryan is super excited to graduate from ISD after his 12 years here and is proud of all his peers for completing this journey with him. He's going to remember all the laughter he shared with his friends throughout the years. In 5 years, he hopes to be working his first job after university and to maintain his friendships within the class of 2020. He would like to especially thank his parents for supporting him throughout this journey, as well as all his teachers and school staff throughout the years. Lastly, he would like to shout out all his friends in the class of 2020 because we finally made it.
Daniela Njiroge. Daniela has enjoyed being a presence at IST. She will forever remember the way that her TOK classes made her not only think outside the box, but made her question what the box is. In 5 years, she hopes to have completed her master's in neuroscience and be the first person to be able to break the code on human consciousness. She would like to give a special thank you to her mother for always inspiring her and supporting her.
Mark Ntabago. Mark has cherished every moment at IST. His classmates are the most hospitable people he has ever met. He is grateful to have gotten to meet new friends from different communities. Mark remembers his funny group of friends, the Black Direction. They made his life much easier at IST, and he is thankful to the class of 2020 and their contributions to his life. He says, "We must part our ways so that we can meet again in another dimension." Mark would like to thank his teachers who have always been great to him and so supportive. He would also like to thank the counselors who stood hand in hand to make sure the 2 years were much easier than expected.
Oliver Paquette. Oliver greatly enjoyed his time at IST. The 2 years of IB have been quite stressful with all the things that were happening. Although much of the year was a blur, he remembers most fondly the karaoke as well as games and competitions he had in extended homeroom. In 5 years, he hopes to find a program that he enjoys in university and to be able to reunite with the others from the class of 2020. He would like to give a special thanks to all the teachers and counselors that have been really supportive of all the changes and unknown over the 2 years of IB.
Charles-Francois Pinard. At school, Charles enjoyed learning things that he didn't previously know. One would hope you do at school. He enjoyed the people he met, the people that had both positive and negative influences, and above all else, the interesting people that taught him things about himself and the world around him. Through taking risks and metaphorically going into uncharted waters, he wants to experience as much as life has to offer in the next 5 years, and in that time, and above all else, make his father proud. He wants to thank all people involved in his schooling that shaped him to be who he is today, from his friends to his teachers, and most of all, his 2 absolutely wonderful dogs. Oh, and also his parents.
Asia Rossetti Tucknott. Asia is extremely excited to graduate and set herself free on the world and apply the many lessons she has learned. Asia hopes for adventure and to explore all opportunities that come her way and has no clue what the next 5 years might hold for her, but is excited and ready to find out. She would like to give a special thanks to all staff that worked around IST, to the canteen staff that slipped her food when she was hungry, to the nurse for all her life advice, to Miss Kobe and Miss Samaras for guiding her through the tough times, to her amazing classmates that have made the graduating class of 2020 so special, to her mom and dad for dragging her through all 14 years of school, and to her best friends that made coming to school not only tolerable, but an adventure.
Blythe Rossetti Tugnott. Blythe's past 2 years at IST have been life-changing. Growing with new friends and having the possibility to graduate has always been a long-term goal for him. He enjoyed every minute of sharing new adventures with great people. He particularly enjoyed talking to every social group in his grade and always loved throwing get-togethers on the weekend for his friends. In Blythe's future years, he hopes to discover the world through many travels and complete a bachelor's degree. He would like to give a big thank you to everyone who graduated with him. You guys made him feel respected and special.
Puri Sajun. Puri has loved her time at IST with her family, the class of 2020, and all her teachers. She will always cherish the quirky lunch break conversations in the courtyard and invading Miss Kobe's room for coffee, gossip time, and karaoke. In 5 years, she hopes to have completed her bachelor's degree in hospitality management, reunite with the class of 2020, and serve some Miss Independent Worldwide sassy bougie ratchet on the runway. She would like to give a special thank you to her family, Gigi sisters, art class, Miss Kobe, and all of the grade 12 teachers for their endless support, hard work, giggles, and memories throughout the 2 years. She wishes the class of 2020 good luck for the future and only peace and love.
Matthew Shaw. Matthew is excited to draw this chapter of his life to a close and is ready for what the future brings him. He is looking forward to discovering new experiences and developing as a person. He will never forget the friends and memories he has made here at IST. Matthew's favorite memory has to be in grade 10 when he went to the Ngorongoro Crater Highlands trip. Trekking through the highlands with his mates was unforgettable. In 5 years, he hopes to either be doing a master's degree in cognitive science or traveling around the world for his job. He would like to give a special thanks to his parents for supporting him unconditionally, even when he would have rough moods from the hard workload. He would also like to thank all his amazing teachers and counselors who have supported him endlessly throughout the 2 years.
Talon Stengel. Talon is super excited to graduate and start the next chapter in her life. Talon, while excited to graduate, is closing a special part of her life, IST. She has fond memories of her whole time at IST, of special moments she spent in elementary school, middle school, and high school. In 5 years, she hopes to be happy and feeling confident with wherever life has led her. She would like to give a special thank you to her friends, teachers, coaches, and teams, mom, dad, and sister for advice, guidance, and support while she grew up here at IST.
Scott James Sterling. Scott had a great time during his 1 year at IST and is relieved to have completed the IB program. His favorite memories at IST were the lunchtime shenanigans in the courtyard. Scott will be attending California Polytechnic State University and will be studying mechanical engineering. He hopes to one day become an engineer working in the renewable energy sector or space industry. He would like to thank his classmates for being great friends and being super welcoming to the new kid. He would also like to thank his parents and teachers for all of their loving support. Looking good, Scott. Looking good. We're just having an issue for a second. Wave. Smile again, you guys. Scott's the new kid, so we just wanted to give him an extra second in the limelight. Sorry, Scott.
Prem Udeshi. Prem has enjoyed working backstage as a leader for the tech team. He treasures the knowledge and experience that he has gained working with teachers and other students. His favorite moments at IST include meeting his new teachers at the start of every school year and hanging out with his friends during lunch break. In 5 years' time, Prem hopes to have completed his master's in computer science. He would like to specially thank his parents for the constant bugging to complete tasks. He would also like to thank his teachers, counselors, and the whole of the IT/DT department for constantly motivating and supporting him when needed.
Luke Van de Ven. Luke has enjoyed his time at IST so much. He will always call it home and will be sad to leave, but he is looking forward to the next chapter and will always have a special place in his heart for Tanzania. He can't decide on any particular memory as his favorite, as there are too many fun trips and jokes that his grade has produced to pick a single one out. In 5 years, he hopes to have completed his studies and have found something to do that interests him. He also hopes to periodically come visit Dar. He would like to give a huge thank you to his family and friends for making the journey less of a chore. Enjoyed his time at IST so much. He will always call it home and will be sad to leave, but he is looking forward to the next chapter and will always have a special place in his heart for Tanzania. He can't decide on any particular memory as his favorite, as there are too many fun trips and jokes that his grade has produced to pick a single one out. In 5 years, he hopes to have completed his studies and have found something to do that interests him. He also hopes to periodically come to visit Dar. He would like to give a huge thank you to his family and friends for making the journey less of a chore and rather something to look forward to.
Constantine Julius Anton Van Tiel. Constantine is proud to graduate among his classmates, having persevered and grown together throughout the challenges of the diploma program. He will treasure his time at IST, especially the memories of time spent with friends in class, in the gym, and outside of school. In 5 years, he hopes to reunite with friends and further pursue his dream of working internationally. He would like to thank his family, both near and far, for helping him succeed with their unwavering dedication and support.
Natasha Varma. Though it was not how she expected her graduation to be, after 2 years filled with so many memories, tears, and laughter, it is definitely a day she will never forget. From all the bad jokes in maths and art with Ryan, to spending the entire day watching anime or playing Mario Kart with Annika and Attica, Natasha will most definitely remember the laughs that kept her going throughout the 2 years. For Natasha, in 5 years' time, she sees herself having completed her degree and working with a law firm, but more importantly, owning a lot of cute plushies. Natasha gives her love to all of her teachers that supported her throughout the past year, and a shout out to Ryan, Annika, and Attica for being there always.
Alfonso Velez. Alfonso has enjoyed his time at IST thanks to all the great and different personalities he has gotten to know, although he didn't like it when Mr. Fitz learned there was turbo mode on the AC controller. Some of his favorite memories involve nights at DYC with the boys Matt, Charles, and Blythe. In the future, he hopes to see the boys again and convince them that chips mayai is really the same thing as tortilla. He would like to give special thanks to his family and friends for the constant support throughout IB.
Imogen Voss. While Imogen was reluctant to move to Tanzania, she couldn't have asked for a better time in her years of high school. Some of her favorite memories of IST are starting an a cappella group with her friends at lunch, which failed faster than it started, Math Lab Wednesdays, having weirdest laugh contests with Moses, and so many more. 5 years from now, Imogen hopes that she has completed her undergraduate degree in either biomedical sciences or psychology. While Corona may have put a damper on the end of the school year, she would like to give a special thanks to Miss Kobe and the graduating class for making the last 2 years unforgettable.
Meng Tan Zhu. Over Tan's years at IST, he had some great experiences and made some great friends. Within this time, he was able to enjoy many great moments. There are too many memories for him to name one in particular. In 5 years, he hopes to have graduated from university, to have gained some professional experiences, and to continue with higher studies. At last, Tan would like to thank his teachers, the amazing class of 2020, and his friends who helped him in the IB program.
And now we'd like to call on Shivani to move us forward in the ceremony.
Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to present to you the graduates of the class of 2020 of the International School of Tanganyika. Graduates, please join me in the ceremonial move of our tassels to the left. With the acknowledgement of IST's administration and board, I now pronounce this official graduates.
And we're going to have a quick interruption here to go back to everybody's favorite IT guy, Prem, because we missed him on the spotlight. So Prem, we're going to go through your blurb one more time before everybody throws their caps in celebration.
Prem Udeshi. Prem has enjoyed working backstage as a leader for the tech team. He treasures the knowledge and experience that he has gained working with teachers and other students. His favorite moments at IST include meeting his new teachers at the start of every school year and hanging out with his friends during lunch break. In 5 years' time, Prem hopes to have completed his master's in computer science. He would like to specially thank his parents for the constant bugging to complete tasks. He would also like to thank his teachers, counselors, and the whole of the IT/DT department for constantly motivating and supporting him when needed.
And to Shivani, can you lead us into the throwing of the cap?
With the acknowledgement of IST's board and administration, I now pronounce this official graduates.
Is it good?